Y'all look good to me out there. I mean, after such an auspicious invitation, I just can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. I was really moved by your theme this year, Pathways Out of Poverty, VISTA Now and Then. I think the more things change, the more they remain the same. And I just want to start out by thanking my VISTA family, all of you here, for inviting me here today. As Wendy has indicated, I have had a deep personal experience with VISTA organizing a community development credit union. Maybe we'll get into the details of it if you're interested in the Q&A period. But just let me say this. If you've had the same VISTA experience that I've had, VISTA has changed you and helped you much more than it's helped those communities in which you were deployed. But I can tell you that VISTA, of course, has not always enjoyed the political sanctions because people have seen us, VISTA volunteers, as sort of troublemakers. And that is why we ended up having the Hatch Act, because they thought that VISTAs were being political. VISTAs weren't being political, it's just that the issues of poverty and lifting people up raised those political issues. It raised the issues of funding for housing, funding, access to financial services. You know, in my particular program, I was just a welfare mama, belonged on the board of directors of my neighborhood association. And I went out and bought a washer and dryer because I had 3 kids through a finance company. It's something like, 40% interest rate. And 2 days before I was supposed to finish my last payment, the repo man came and got my washer and dryer. And so that was sort of a trigger for me to realize that I didn't have access to fair credit. And as I thought about all of the circumstances in my life, the fact that I lived in a home, that I had purchased a home actually through a neighborhood HUD program, but as soon as I moved in, the insurance company that had insured the white couple that sold me the house would no longer give me that same insurance product. And I had to get the force-placed state insurance. And that the banks in our area were all just transaction centers. There were no loan officers. Well, these are the things that sort of activated me. And as a poor welfare mama with 3 babies sitting on the board of directors, my board asked me to step down from the board and to take on the challenge of organizing a community development credit union. And so here was a program that, yes, the political ramifications of redlining, lack of community reinvestment in the neighborhood from the banks, the insurance companies, yes, and I was plenty pissed. But instead of being pissed, we just got to work. We got to work and sat around my dining room table on one Thanksgiving day to put in a $100,000 capitalization loan from the federal government, which was due by November 30th, so that we could open up our credit union. We did get it. And people in the neighborhood, people who didn't know they had skills, sat around the turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce and filled out their portions of the budget and the impact statement. And they discovered that even though we were poor, we had power. And that's what this program is about. So that even after my VISTA term was over, here was a neighborhood that felt that it deserved to be resourced by the powers that be, that felt that it was important to make those banks and institutions accountable to our neighborhood. So it is so apropos today that we're talking about the empowerment of poor people. It's important because it was true then, back in the early 80s, and it's true now. Income inequality is greater than it has ever been right now. It is similar to where it was when we had the Great Depression. That is where we are. And income inequality will destroy and erode any society. And political commentators as far back as Plato have understood that, and Aristotle have understood that this is a dangerous space for a democracy or for any kind of economy. So I think it's really important. It has never been more important for vistas to be out there promoting, empowering people to take control of their lives. Whether you're a Vista out there working on alternative energy resources, and that's going to be very important because I can tell you poor people, women and children are disproportionately harmed by lack of energy. Whether you're out there on issues of food security, women and children and poor people are disproportionately impacted by that. No matter what you're organizing around, educational opportunity, income inequality, women's rights, no matter what you are doing, there's nothing that you can do that is more important than making sure that you're building a resume for that community and not for yourself. That is what a successful Vista tour of duty is. And the oath that we take, and I understand there are a couple of classes that are going to go, I have never forgotten that oath. That oath has put us on the front lines for all these years, and it's an oath that we carry with us throughout our entire lives. I'll never forget the Vista poster that they gave me upon my graduation. And it's a motto that I hold in my heart today. And as a Vista, if there's not a way, we'll make one. Thank you so very much.